I know I look like a mess, but it's okay. I didn't expect to do this. Um, just got a quick announcement to make. I actually was gonna make it at the end of the video, but well, let me explain what's going on pretty much. We have come to the end of an era. And first and foremost, let's give thanks to this phone because this is the phone that kind of kickstarted my videos. This is the phone that I used to make the early card opening videos, the restart of my action figure reviews, and yeah, I have decided to upgrade. And of course, the video is done under this new phone now. And I like the quality. And I guess that's why I held off on making reviews because I already knew I was going to get the phone. I kind of wanted to do one last action figure review with this phone and then at the end make this announcement that you're hearing me say. But I decided to no. You know what? The last video I made was the collab with Psycho Blue, and that felt like a good way to go out, to kind of say that's the end of that early era of videos, and it's time for this new era of videos to start. And so, I'm not going to take much more of your time. Got a new camera, got a new phone, of course, that's taking the video of the camera. Yeah, I didn't think this through much. But enjoy the newer reviews. They're coming. I'm going to finish that Strong Guy wave. I'm going to do that Blast from the Past review. And yeah, just enjoy the ride. And I'm hoping to find more baseball card packs so I could open them for you guys. And other than that, there's not much more I could say. Enjoy the review. And I'll be sure to be dressed a lot better next time. Promise. Peace. Hey there once again, and welcome to another action figure review. And today we will be looking at Marvel Legends series Strong Guy Wave, Warpath and Deadpool. And yes, this is another 2-for-1 action figure review. And well, there's a reason why I chose these two and I paired them up like this side by side. For you see, a little while ago, I want to say about a decade ago, Hasbro was still trying to figure out a way to market the Marvel Legends line, and they were kind of failing. Shoddy sculpts, terrible paint jobs, and overall just a lack of choice in what the consumer wanted. It's like they were releasing like these kind of extra figures when that movie bombed, and they were really pushing hard for that wave. It was just a total mess in Hasbro's part. And so they had decided to discontinue the Marvel Legends line for a while. And at the time, they decided to market Marvel Universe, which was like the 3 3/4 inch, way smaller GI Joe, 80s GI Joe scale action figure. The reason I'm getting to this is that a couple of years passed and they wanted to get back into the action figure making, a 6-inch action figure scale making process, but they wanted to test the waters out. So they kind of pulled out this fan vote contest, and they released 2 figure box sets for fan favorites. So they they made it a Toys R Us exclusive. You guys remember Toys R Us? Well, there it is. And two of the figures I won was Warpath and Deadpool. And they actually got a double pack in which they came together not only in these clothes that you see pictured right here, and actually I think these were the variants, but they also got the classic Well, I consider it a classic because it's like if you look at the price for an unopened box of these figures nowadays, they go for way more than they were worth back in the day. Back in the day, it was probably like a $50, $60 box set. Now it's 6 to 7 times that. Well, these are the actual figures. So this is obviously the X-Force version of Warpath, and this is the normal red Deadpool. The variant version that you would get Warpath, this kind of sculpt, but in these colors, and of course you would get this Deadpool sculpt, but in those colors. And I will explain those costumes as well. But yeah, that's the reason I decided to do this video review. It's because this box set, I never got it when it came out. As a matter of fact, these were sold to me loose from a friend, and well, let me just give you guys a really quick story time. So this Deadpool was actually sold to my friend. This isn't actually the Warpath that my friend sold me. I flipped that Warpath and sold it to another friend, and wound up regretting that later on. And I actually had to chase this Warpath down on eBay until I could find them at like a really affordable price. But it was worth it. This Warpath figure to this day is probably one of the better sculpts that Hasbro Marvel Legends has released. But enough talk about this wave of figures. These Toys R Us exclusives that, something that's stuck in the past, 10-year-old toys, what have you. Let's take a good look at this line as well. And here, let's look at the packaging on each figure. And as you could see, same photo on both sides. And right here is a brief description of Warpath, a powerful mutant with superhuman strength and speed. Warpath is a formidable warrior with a proud and noble heart. Now I'm trying to get it to focus, but it's not seemingly working. It's not working. New phone, new set of problems. It's blurry right now, but I'm hoping that it's could probably mess a bit with the lighting. Either way, standard Marvel Legends packaging. You could see the rest of the guys in the wave. I've already reviewed the Pirate Deadpool, and I will work my way to review more figures in the near future. And I'm also going to review, of course, Strong Guy. But yeah, so that's the packaging for him. And of course, you can't have a Deadpool wave without multiple versions of Deadpool being released, of course. And it's just got the suit back from the dry cleaners. I hear blue and gold is the new red, and that's what it says right there in the back of this Deadpool figure. He comes with a Strong Guy's head. Warpath came with a Strong Guy's other leg because the right leg came with the Pirate Deadpool. So yeah, that's all I could say about the packaging. It's your standard Marvel Legends packaging. Not much more to say. And let's open these guys up and review them more in depth. Let's go. So let us start with James Proudstar, also known as Warpath. Brief history of the character. He is the younger brother of a former X-Men called John Proudstar. Now, John Proudstar was introduced along with Storm, Banshee, Wolverine, and Nightcrawler, I believe, for Giant Size X-Men #1. That's when that new X-Men team had to rescue the old X-Men team from the island of Krakoa. Now, to give a shocker to the fans that anything could happen, they killed off Warpath's older brother, like I think in the second mission the X-Men took. So Thunderbird was his brother. Thunderbird was pretty much an X-Men for like 2 missions, and then he passed away, and that didn't settle well with Warpath himself. He at first had taken over the mantle of his older brother, and I think he tried getting revenge on the X-Men as part of the Hellions. But eventually he saw the error of his ways, and he soon became a good guy. And yet he still had an edge. He became a good guy, but he still kind of had an edge. And so he wasn't really a mainline X-Man. He was more of a kind of like anti-hero, and they explored that facet of his character later on in later stories. He ended up joining the New Mutants, which of course became X-Force, and that's where it, like, the whole rebel kind of image spurned for him. It's like, it's like still blame the X-Men and Charles Xavier a bit for the death of his brother, but it gave him an edge. It's like, it's something that, yeah, he forgave him, but it's like something he would bring up as well every once in a while. Kind of had like a dangerous edge, and he became a perfect prime candidate to later on join, like, as once the original X-Force disbanded due to ecstatics. He ended up joining the new version, the Black Ops version of X-Force, which of course is identified by these uniforms right here. Other than that, he has been portrayed in Days of Futures Past and the movie. So he has appeared in movies. And also he is one of the mutants that had his powers when Scarlet Witch kind of decimated and kind of deleted a lot of mutant powers, but he was one of the ones to actually retain his abilities. So just shows how much of a I guess popularity Warpath had in comparison to other mutants that got depowered. It's like he's not going to be recognized in a lineup. It's like it's always going to be Cyclops and Wolverine and Gambit and this and that, but it's like, you ask other fans, especially fans that are big on X-Force, and they'll tell you like, yeah, Warpath, he's pretty cool and this and that. And this figure itself is pretty cool. Big body articulation, but I can't recognize where that sculpt came from. Whoa, this came off, and I guess it could peg. So in case you want more kind of move, and he has a butterfly joint for the shoulder blades. So I guess if you want to remove this, it pegs on here on a hole. But yeah, in case you want to remove it just for more articulation, you could do that. And this of course depicts him in his X-Force attire. This is his classic X-Force attire, or New Mutant attire. But yeah, and this Warpath figure is pretty great. He has the double jointed knees, double jointed elbows. Now he has of course an ab crunch, but it doesn't crunch like his other figure does. Now where he does have a notable weakness is in his head. It's like it has a hinge for him to be able to look down, as you could see, right? You can see it has that hinge, right? You see it slide down. So he does have a hinge that'll help him look down, but doesn't do much in the looking up category, unfortunately. But that's only one minor drawback on the figure. I can't complain. This torso, of course, it's new when you compare it to the other Warpath, because the other Warpath had that classic ratchet joint, and you could puff his chest out, and I guess minor differences between that figure and that figure is you could, even without me removing the shoulder patch, you could tell that this guy works out his shoulders a lot more, so probably does like bar squats a lot more than this guy. So that's a major difference. Other than that, I do believe they are same size. Now Kith. They are same size, so that's always a plus. But yeah, I like this figure because I don't really have him in that color attire. Like I said, I I only owned this version of Warpath, and it seemed kind of awkward to always put him out when he didn't have like his normal attire colors. It's like, because as I ranted and raved before, X-Men are known for being really colorful characters, and I'm kind of glad that they actually went through with him on that. And I got that attire. For FYI, in case you're wondering, yes, I do also own the other 2 packs from the 2010, which was Winter Soldier and Black Widow, and I think it was Cable and Marvel Girl, and I own those packs as well. And I don't own and I think they ended up releasing other packs as well with like Nick Fury and Captain America, but I don't own that. That was after my time. I think I do have that cap though, that World War II cap. But yeah, but the actual fans choice packs, I have them obviously loose. I bought them from a friend loose, so they're not worth as much as they would be if they were sealed. But I didn't get into collecting to have things boxed up, So yeah, that's Warpath. His accessories that he does come with is interchangeable hands. Whoa, and there goes Thanos. He does come with interchangeable hands. So there you go. So he has fists. He has fists and he has open hands. So that's always good. Boom. Finally got the zoom to work. But yeah, so there you go. He's giving you the bro fist right there. So, damn it, Thanos. Okay. He's on his tippy toes now. That's tipsy Thanos. But yeah, so this figure is great, and I would say that as much as I want to say that I prefer him over this guy, still kind of like this guy a bit better. But maybe maybe it's just due to the fact that I suffered more to get this guy than I ever did to get this version of Warpath. But yeah. Other than that, he came with the strong guy leg, and that strong guy leg will be added to this leg. So now we're just waiting for the rest of his buddy. And yeah, that's it for the accessories. He came with arms, which is much more of a plus than this guy, because this guy only has them OJ Simpson isotoners, It's gonna strangle. Okay, no, just kidding. But yeah, that's it for the Warpath portion of the review. Stick around and I'm gonna show you the Merc with a mouth in blue. What can I say about Wade Wilson that hasn't been said already? This is Deadpool, and he is wearing blue and gold, which of course are the X-Men colors. Now, when did he actually wear these colors? Well, I just so happened to actually have the issue where he actually first wore these colors. This is the Cable and Deadpool trade paperback. This is volume 2, but if you were collecting the comic book issues, it would be issue number 8, and he actually first debuts it right here. Issue number 8 of Cable and Deadpool. Let's see. So pretty much he decided to wear these colors because he had joined the X-Men to help him out on a mission, because they had asked for Cable's help. But the thing is that at the time, Cable's teleporter was broken, so every single time he would teleport, he would also bring Deadpool along with him, and that created a lot of fun stories for both of them to have. And so yeah, so this Deadpool figure, despite looking really similar to this Deadpool figure, there are slight differences. This one looks a bit more bulky, looks a bit more muscular. This one looks a bit more skinny, and of course another ratchet sounding joint for the ab crunch right here. And guess what? He also has it. so that's pretty cool. But yeah, this Deadpool definitely looks a bit more bulkier than this Deadpool, and it has everything to do with the newer body mold. I mean, this is 10 years old. This came out at most little less than a year ago. So yeah, this Deadpool is obviously gonna be much more updated. They still have similar joints though, like the butterfly shoulder blade joint is present on both of these figures. Now this one has double jointed elbows, and this guy also has double jointed elbows. Could have sworn it looked single jointed, but I guess I'm glad it was double jointed on this figure. Now this guy does have a holster on his leg, and double jointed knees, and of course, but little to no rotation down here on his boots. I don't think. Sorry. Let's see if I could get that to. Let's see if I could get that to. There we go. Yeah, there's no pivot whatsoever. No rocking, no pivot right here on his shoes, or it's very limited. Whereas this fella right here, boom, look at that. That's very, very, very awesome. So there are slight differences in the mold, in the sculpt of both figures. And yeah, no lie, I do like this Deadpool a lot more than this Deadpool. But then again, when I select the best Deadpool body, I always gotta go with Series 6 Deadpool from Toy Biz. Yes, I know it has a big, awkward, round shoulders, but that sculpt is just great. I don't know, it's the first thing I think of when I think of Deadpool, in honesty. His accessories, he came with a gun, rifle, which is very reminiscent of the rifle that this dude Peel came with. But the rifle that the other Deadpool had came with had the Deadpool logo on it, and this one's missing, of course, the Deadpool logo. It's a different time. They don't want to spend that much money on figures, I guess, to sculpt them. And he also came with this very nice pistol. So yeah, this figure is great. It's so weird because this is actually the third time they've made a figure of him in this suit, and to my knowledge, he's only worn like this X-Men suit probably for Cable and Deadpool, and I think actually for the Utopia he wore like the classic X-Force, not the X-Force, the classic was it X-Force? No, I'm trying to remember. I think he wore the classic dang it, it's on the tip of my tongue. I can't remember the team, but it's when Cyclops, Angel, Jean Grey, Beast, they kind of splintered off from the original X-Men, and they had done their own side group. Why can't I remember them right now? Dang, I can't remember them right now. It wasn't X-Force, but yeah, he wore that suit. He wore the blue and gold suit, and not this one, because this one's a blue and gold Deadpool suit. He wore the other one, which was just like him putting on the X-Men's clothes, that's pretty much it. And yeah, great figure, great paint job. Let's see if everything lines up, if all his yellow lines up. Yeah, his yellow lines up pretty well. Now, wait, is it just me? No, yeah, it was just me. I thought that there was different shading on the blue, but it's all blue the same. But the line work on this is great, and yeah, this is the LA Rams Deadpool, and I like it. He also came with these swords, and yeah, beautiful. Just like how they're like rigid here. You know, it's like real handling mechanism. He didn't come with anything else, no alternate heads, no alternate hands or what have you, but that's good enough. He came with a gun, he came with a rifle, and he came with 2 katana swords. And of course, the 2 katana swords could be stored here. Now the gun, there's no holster, which I find weird. So it's like they gave you a gun, kind of like this figure, kind of like the one that came with this figure, but they didn't give you the holster to holster it in. So that's kind of a minor gripe and criticism. But hey, this guy could look up pretty well, could look down pretty well. Yeah, and overall it's a great figure. I have nothing to complain about. So would I recommend them? Yeah, I mean, if you're trying to collect all versions of Deadpool, I would highly recommend you get this figure. And if you're just like, hey, like let's say you're an LA Rams fan and you just want Deadpool to be in that team's color, well, this is a figure for you. And that's pretty much it. Let's conclude this review, and we are out of here. I'd be remiss because I forgot the last accessory that came with this Deadpool, and that is, of course, the strong guy head. But of course, he has no body yet. He just has 2 legs. And we will have to wait until a later time to review more of the Strong Guy Wave figures, but I'm gonna try to rush to it. It's just, well, I've been interrupted. Someone came running down because turns out it's a review that's been 8 years in the making. Yep, I had promised you viewers, all 5 of you, a review of Sting way back in 2012, and he is not gonna wait any further. So watch me for my next review. I finally, since 2012, I get to review this figure. The 2012 Legends of the Wrestling Ring Sting. And of course, this is Sting, I think, from not Great American Bash Sting. Great American Bash Sting had blue tights. I think this is for his tour of Japan when representing WCW. But yeah. Anywho, I'm going on with this and that. In the meantime, enjoy this. There's more action figure reviews coming. Sting's coming up next, but after him, more of the Strong Guy Wave and more of what you possibly see around you. So, this is me, Louis Curse, signing off, and take care. Y lávatela. I'm just kidding. Peace and love. Laters, guys.